and welcome to #Showcase Sunday. And Showcase Sunday was born from AJ Lake's consultancy and training to showcase our amazing businesses in the UK who can help and support the hospitality and tourism businesses, but also to help and support you as we're coming through the ease of restrictions, etc. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the amazing Sara Young, who is the owner of Graythwaite Adventure. We are in our dry robes today. Because I'm so excited. I've actually got my swimming costume on underneath my dry robe because I started while swimming, and it's because of Sara Young that I've got my paddle here ready to paddleboard as well. That is so exciting. We live in a very, very beautiful location. So we're all ready to go out on the water sports today, but we're doing our Showcase Sunday first. So welcome, Sara, and
hello.
I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me about yourself, what you do, and who you are, and why you do it.
So I'm Sara Young, as you know, and together with Tim, we run Graythwaite Adventure, and Graythwaite Adventure offers award-winning outdoor adventure experiences on the Graythwaite Estate. And Graythwaite Estate is a 5,000-acre private estate on the shoreline of Windermere, with a range of offerings. There's holiday cottages and obviously the outdoor adventure experiences that we provide. My background, I've worked in the conference and events industry for, well, since the 90s now. So I suppose this was sort of a natural progression for us, and we were very fortunate that the collaboration with Graythwaite Estate is 4 or 5 years old now, but we maximised on lockdown 1, and with all that, you know, gifted time that we would never have had otherwise, and the focus sort of taken off our national and international corporate events, then that allowed us the time to really refocus on what was on our doorstep, and that is Graythwaite Adventure. So we looked at a rebrand, we redid the website, and we really looked at how we were going to, you know, shift, reposition ourselves, and that was really our focus as we emerged out of lockdown 1. And last summer was just booming, it was flying, and we were really very lucky, and there was such a demand for outdoor experiences, obviously smaller groups, families, and this year's looking the same. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So Graythwaite Adventure, we offer a range of land-based and water-based activities for families, groups, stag do's, hen groups, and corporates.
Brilliant, fantastic. So why do you do it, Sara? And you know, I always ask this for all businesses who I work with. Why do you do what you do? Because that's when the passion shows, the excitement of what you do.
We do it because they're just because we love it. You know, it's a bit cliched, but it doesn't feel like work. You know, we love doing these things in the Lake District, and we want to share those experiences with other people, and that's it, simple. That's why we do it, just because it's brilliant. We know the benefits. You know, we wake up in the morning really excited about what the plan is, which guests we've got coming in. I love, you know, handling inquiries. I love looking after clients' inquiries and designing half-day adventure days, full-day adventure days for families, you know, group activity days, corporates. I love the sort of the bringing those proposals together, or it might be that a family just wants to come for a stand-up paddleboard lesson. But because I know how good that's going to make them feel when they're doing it, I think that's where we get our buzz, right through the whole process to the post-event, you know, post-booking follow-up, you know, seeing the photos, hearing how much the kids have enjoyed it. You know, every part of it is just very positive, and it's good for us as well as being able to share it with everybody else, you know.
That's amazing. A lot of people as well. I mean, you serve the local community as well as people around the UK, and you did internationally as well. But what, you know, when people come, do they have fear? Because obviously Mental Health Awareness Week is this week, just ending this week, and we know that the pandemic, the lockdowns have created fear, anxiety, worry, you know, and you have the ultimate tonic, haven't you, really, with the outdoor adventures that people can experience. But how do you look, you know, how do you get over the fear, anxiety? Because some people might be, somebody in the family or the corporate team might book it, and then somebody may have never experienced, say, water sports or land-based sports. You know, what do you do to get over the fear of anybody who's coming to your Graythwaite Adventure?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I mean, under normal circumstances, we always were, but I think we need to be very mindful that people are emerging after the last 12 or nearly 18 months, you know, with all sorts of emotional, financial, you know, concerns and hesitations, and I think we need to be very mindful of that it's not always visible, obviously, you know, what people are suffering with. So and us as a team, I think, you know, we handpick carefully our team that are going to work with our guests, because that's critical. The good thing about Graythwaite Estate and everything we do on the estate is it's a private estate. So as busy as the lakes can be in the peak times, holidays and weekends, there's always just a little piece of quiet and heaven on Graythwaite, because even on our busy days, it's, you know, it's still a tranquil setting. All our experiences, whether it's just a couple or a group of 30 in a corporate group, all our experiences are private. So we don't ever mix members of the public or groups, and we never did before COVID. We only ever run private experiences for the number of people in your party. So if it is a family of 4, then they're getting the undivided attention of one of our instructional team, and it doesn't matter whether they're 4x4ing, kayaking, or out on a boat tour. So I think that's really important, and it means that we can give all our guests 100% attention with them in their party, and quite often, you know, there'll be generally mum or dad, not the children, that aren't as water confident, and they're being pushed a little bit outside the comfort zone because the children want to go paddleboarding, and mum or dad isn't as keen. But they've, you know, we've all been in situations like that with our kids, and you think, oh, but mine personally is going on a high ropes course, and I've been in tears on a high ropes course before, and it's just not my bag. But you have to do it because the kids love it, and they think, what's wrong with going on a high ropes course? So yeah, and it's quite easy to read with people, and quite often people will say, I'm not comfortable with doing this. The emphasis is always on fun, you know, whilst it's important, I think, to create opportunities for people to push themselves a little bit more than they thought that they could, but at the same time, nobody's put under any pressure. If they're really not comfortable once they've had a go and they want to sit on the shore and watch the rest of their party, then so be it. Great, they're happy and watching. And I think for us, it's about creating opportunities rather than, you know, it's not boot camp where they've got to, you know, where they've got to do these things. And everybody's different. And I think, you know, having worked with people and hospitality and events all over the world for 25 years, you get quite a good experience of, you know, handling and dealing with people, both leisure and corporates, really.
And I think you and your team would create techniques to ensure that everybody in the party felt comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Positive.
Yeah. I mean, that's our, you know, it's our absolute priority. We don't want anybody leaving us thinking that they've, you know, been pushed into doing something they don't want to do. Neither do we want them to leave having regrets and thinking, oh, I wish I'd just done that. So, you know, again, we're creating that opportunity for them to be able to do that. People arrive in a good mood and they leave in a better mood, and that's just the best thing for us. And it doesn't matter whether they're with us for an hour's kayak hire or whether they're here for a multi-day activity experience. You know, it's that's always our end goal, is, you know, everybody leaving in a great mood, and they do.
Brilliant. Can I ask you, because obviously you serve customers, clients from corporate world, families, individuals, groups of friends, etc.
Yeah.
And I can imagine, you know, in my teams throughout my career, there'll always be the one who'll be negative or egging you on, and you're thinking, you know, oh gosh, how do you encourage, you know, families or corporate or friends to positively communicate and support each other? I'm thinking more like a team building experience now to really bring them together to actually achieve better things, bigger things.
Yeah, I think because what we offer is, in most cases, you know, such you know, it's so removed from what a lot of the corporate clients do. You know, they're not in an office. I know it's changed obviously over the last 12 months. So, but you know, coming to Graythwaite for outdoor adventure experience is so removed from normal day-to-day working life for a lot of these teams. So actually, when they arrive, it doesn't matter necessarily about, you know, the hierarchy or who works with who in which departments, because everybody's really on a level playing field. And quite often what happens is it exposes hidden talents that some colleagues didn't think that, you know, they'll say, oh, you know, so-and-so there from accounts, look how good she is. And, you know, it just creates an opportunity for people to, you know, it breaks down barriers, people's strengths. There's opportunities for, you know, fun, sometimes a little bit of Mickey taking. There's an element of competition. They always leave with lots of stories that will go back to the workplace, you know. And I think when we're certainly looking at corporates, it's about designing a day or a half day or a multi-day, and obviously listening to their objectives. The inquiries and bookings that we're getting in now for 2021 for corporates, and I mean, just the best thing is that they're coming in for starters, which is just brilliant. And the objectives I'm finding are fairly consistent. It's not about team building as we know it in a traditional form. It's about just getting together as a team, not on Meets or Zoom, essentially. Something outdoor, fun, a little bit active, something that some people haven't had the opportunity to do. And we must never lose sight of that we've had these opportunities because we live in the Lake District. And yeah, we shouldn't become at all complacent. So bringing teams together in a quiet, obviously peaceful, exclusive, you know, estate like Graythwaite, and doing something that they can just relax, learn new skills. We've had people get into the 4x4 Land Rovers and just say, there's no way I'm driving this. And then they come back down an hour later and they'll say, she did more driving than everybody because we couldn't get her out from behind the wheel. Or he, either or.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I personally just get a massive buzz from that, because you can see that they're stoked and you're stoked for them.
Yeah, because they've gone way out of the comfort zone and enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you think that, you know, the fact that they're driving home or going, you know, that you've made a difference or created an experience that they're going to remember and say, oh, remember that time we went 4x4ing. You know, they'll talk about it for a long time. So yeah, I think designing corporate days, you know, some people are adamant that it's just land-based, we're not going to do water-based, and some people just, you know, we've got an event at the end of June and we're having a water sports medley for them. You know, with a barbecue, and it's, you know, 40 adults just having a water sports medley. It'll be brilliant.
Brilliant. And I think you know, you cover so much, but and the benefits outweigh it. And I think, you know, when you look at your corporates coming back, a lot of them haven't been together for over a year now, and they've been on Zooms and they've not had that connection. The thing I'm finding, especially in the hospitality industry, is, you know, people are coming back with different expectations, different you know, ideas, and they're coming back into, say, hospitality or your, you know, Graythwaite Adventure with something that they want more of, and it'd be interesting to know that, what, you know, especially with the mental health awareness, what highlights, because you were serving people throughout the whole of lockdown one, well, when it was eased in last year, July last year, and you had experiences with people who hadn't been to the Lake District, that you then saw, you know, say a person coming in who was quite introvert maybe, and then suddenly, you know, the whole family had a light bulb moment, and they then had quality time. Have you got any highlights, you know, that you'd like to share?
I mean, there were lots. I mean, almost on a daily basis. You know, I don't think you can underestimate how beneficial and how important it is, even for local families. And coming out of lockdown one and into that sort of July and August period, you know, we'd been put in a situation that none of us have ever had any experience of before. So, and as we came out of that, it was just so important, and even more now, because obviously we're nearly 12 months down the line. Families that obviously we've been confined to our own homes and spending a lot of time together, but I think there's a real demand for us, you know, even as a small family unit, but now a wider family unit, now that we can, you know, this summer meet more people, is just to go out and do something that's fun. And there are many highlights from last summer, but one particularly was a family. Their grandparents had booked for the son and their children to come and join them up in the lakes. And their son was, he worked in an intensive care unit in central London. So he'd had, you know, the most horrific 3 months leading up to this week in the Lake District, with his wife and 2 children. And his parents had done all the planning, and I'd spent, you know, a while planning. We had 3 different days across the week with them. And we did a family bushcraft adventure day. And we did a water sports day, and then we did a target skills afternoon, which included clay pigeon shooting, archery and axe throwing. The children were sort of 10, 11, 12, so they were able to join in with all the activities. And speaking to him, you know, at day one, it was still, you could tell that he'd sort of been planted from, obviously he'd travelled up from London. Speaking to him on the end of the week was like having a completely different conversation with somebody different, and how beneficial it had been to him to just escape for a week and come and, you know, enjoy the Lake District and the fresh air and the scenery and the outdoor space and activities and quality time with his family. And his parents that had obviously planned the week, she wrote me an email afterwards, and I've kept it, I've still got it now, and you just, that is the, you know, she said that she saw, you know, things in her son that she'd not seen for a long time. You know, as a very hard-working professional, and she said that she'd seen things that she'd not seen for a long time, and that, you know, and almost an inner child had come out, and what a huge transition it was. And you think, I'm not going to belittle what we do, obviously, but you kind of think, all we did is some quite, you know, for us, accessible outdoor activities. And I know, I mean, I've always loved and needed exercise. And some days when you can't be bothered physically, you think, I can't be bothered physically to run or bike, but you know that mentally it's going to be, you know, so much better for you. You're going to go to bed at night thinking, I'm glad I did go and do that. You know, as we get on a bit, Alison, our bodies, we have to remember our bodies sometimes. They can't, yeah, they do, but sometimes my body can't keep up with my mind. I set off and I think, oh God, I don't think I can quite get that far today. My body won't do it. But you know, it's as much for my mental well-being, and that's just the same. Everything we do at Graythwaite, you know, it's you can't put a price tag on a lot of it, can you? The benefits.
No, and I think we are very, very blessed to live where we live. I mean, you know, I paddleboard, I know while swim, and the difference I can tell when I've been flat out working and not been in the lake for a couple of days, that I need to get in the lake because it's really important. And I feel sorry, you know, and feel heartbroken for people like the family who haven't got that quality time. And I think, you know, where they can come and just be themselves instead of being that responsible, you know, hardworking, taking the world on in ICU. You're literally on the front line and going, you know, at it, you know, long hours, etc. And what difference you made to that family is unbelievable. For the grandparents, the man himself, but his wife must have been elated, and the children getting back the fun. You know, what a massive difference you created in the lives. And I think, you know, this is where, you know, I touched on it earlier, people are looking for more because they have been locked up. They've been in situations where they've not been able to get away, and now they're looking for so much more. And you also serve the hospitality industry, don't you? You help the hospitality industry to add value, which is massive, because, and I say it regularly now, gone are the days where you could just put a bottle of wine in, a box of chocolates and some flowers and hope that was value. Now people are wanting, guest expectations are so high, they're wanting so much more. So who you know, what sort of hospitality businesses could you help, and could you add value to, and where are they based? Can they be all over, or what?
So I mean, we've got, you know, we've got some great collaborative working relationships with holiday cottage companies, hotels, Cumbria Tourism. And it's really important because, you know, I think our approach in terms of the visitor economy is that I want people to have the very best experience when they come to the Lake District, whether they're coming with a group of friends, with the family, or on a corporate event. I think I almost want it to be a showcase opportunity every single visit for the Lake District. If it includes us, brilliant. If it doesn't, then that's fine, because there's so many brilliant, great things to do. So we've, I mean, I'm taking quite a lot of inquiries now from people saying that if you remember us, we came last year, and we're coming back to the Lake District because we had such a great time with Graythwaite Adventure, and they're making decisions on their holiday plans this year to come back to the lakes because they've had, you know, the time that they did last year. So if we can just play a small part in terms of, you know, helping visitor footfall and income generation for the county, then, you know, obviously that's you know, a good thing as well. So collaboratively we work with hotels because they're very much of the opinion that we're an added value to their guests. So certainly hotels locally that have got, you know, jetties and lake frontage, then we collect guests by boat and bring them over to Graythwaite Estate for their activities and take them back by boat or by Land Rover transfers. And that is just, you know, it all just adds to their experience. So yeah, working collaboratively is really important. And then when we're looking at corporates, I mean, we're really keen to put as much business supply away. So it might be that we're looking at we've got a 2-day corporate event this summer. We're doing drinks cruise on the evening of day 1, using Windermere Lake Cruises, and transport with Mount and Go, and they're staying in a hotel at the Swan for accommodation and meeting space, and then we're using local caterers for a beachside lakeshore barbecue in the evening. So, you know, we're working with half a dozen different suppliers to create the event, and so yeah, I think collaborations are key, aren't they? Really?
Yeah, they're massive.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if someone's watching this right now and thinking, oh, this all sounds great, you know, tell me what your past clients would say to your potential and future clients if they were thinking about, should I book, should I not book, you know, what do your past clients say to your future clients?
Gosh, that's a really hard question for me to answer.
It is. I mean, for example, you know, the grandmother, that letter, what she would probably say to your future clients, if you want to have your son, daughter, or family quality experience or time back with them, that create, you know, long-lasting, amazing memories that create relationships as well. I think
exactly,
that's a massive thing. And you know, so what would you say that's what your past clients would say? Go ahead and book, because
just do it.
Because it will be.
Bring your waterproof and do it, they'll probably say. Make sure you pack your waterproof. But yeah, just do it.
I think it's because, you know, just do it, because you will not be disappointed.
No, exactly.
You know, you will learn something, you will gain something, you will take something away, but you will also build that amazing relationship that maybe has been quite stale, because we've all been in situations in, you know, the lockdowns where we were homeschooling, and our relationships have probably been the most frayed in our families than we've ever had. You know, and to actually get back together and do something instead of doing the mundane stuff at home, doing something that brings out our inner child, but brings out the excitement and children looking at you going, wow, your mom, you can do that, or wow, look, you're even trying to put your, you know, to do a headstand on a paddleboard even though you're falling in every time.
Children need to see that, though, the fun side of us, don't they? That's really important. But the number of people that have fed back and you speak to, because people come back, you know, our repeat business is great for local, but also, you know, people that visit the lakes 2 or 3 times a year. They'll maybe do land-based in the autumn, and then something, you know, canoe-based or water-based in the summer months. And the number of people that have said, or send me a message, because that's the kind of relationship we build with people. Right, where can I buy a paddleboard? And or they've gone back, and we've had several, at least 2 or 3 definitely, that have gone back and said, we've had such a great shoot that I'm having lessons now, and we're doing clay pigeon shooting at our local clay pigeon shooting ground, wherever they live. And you think, gosh, because, you know, it's not just a 1 hour or half a day experience. You know, these people it's almost been a little bit of a platform for them to learn new skills and take up new hobbies, and that's brilliant, isn't it?
Oh, I think it's outstanding. I think it's outstanding.
Brilliant. Where can I get a paddleboard? And then they come back and have another lesson just to get them on the way. And I mean, to think that because they've had a great time, and we've played a little small part in that, and the fact that they've then gone on to buy a board, and that's just brilliant. I think it is. I think it's absolutely superb. And I think, and especially, you know, I myself, I paddleboard, and I absolutely love it. I've done lives off my paddleboard. I've done my FAQ Fridays off my paddleboard. And I think, you know, people do, you know, in envy in some respects, want to get involved, want to be a part of it.
And it's so lovely, because I do pass a lot to you. I'll say, go and ring, you know, Graythwaite Adventure, and go and have a go, because I think it's important before you go and invest in a paddleboard. Go and actually have a go and learn the skills, etc.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. I mean, it's just so good for you, though, isn't it?
Oh, massive. I can tell my muscles get used when I'm paddleboarding, more so than the swimming. Can't feel them in the swimming when it's, you know, 5 degrees in the lake. But
have you got a really strong core?
Probably not. Probably not. I should have. But no, I need to work harder. My daughter gets up on our paddleboards straight away because she's a marina. So she's, you know, she's off. But when you said to me, I think it was it last year when you said you were going to come and donut me when I was paddleboarding, because of the
way I do figure of eights around your paddleboard, and
and that would give me good teaching. It would give me a good core within seconds. I think
it would. Yeah,
we'll have to arrange that.
We'll get that on film, won't we?
Yeah. And I love your films where you've got people doing handstands on, you know, headstands on the paddleboard. I'm thinking, how on earth do they do that when, you know, so many people can't stand up, including myself?
Well, you don't know. You might be able to do it. Have you tried?
I split my wetsuit doing that.
Some people, if you say to them, can you do a headstand? Do you think you can do a headstand on a board? And they say, I can't do a headstand on land, let alone a board. Yeah. But some people can only do it on a board and not land.
Oh, right. Watch this space, Sara Young.
You just don't know, do you?
I will set up my live feed for you, so you can clip grab it and use it and on my paddleboard, and let's see what happens.
No, not everybody can, Alison. Just some people. Unless you try it, you'll never know.
That's it. I love trying things, especially this year. But yeah, I love trying new things. So Sara, do you want to? Have you got anything to add? Or I know, you know, how can people get hold of you? And what can they, you know, how can they find out the range of activities that you've got on offer? And obviously we'll put the links to all your social media and your website at the end of our showcase Sunday. So what, you know, where can they find out about all your activities and how to book?
So our website, www.graythwaiteadventure.co.uk. We've got all our core experiences listed there. So 4x4 driving, clay pigeon shooting, archery, axling, bushcraft experiences, and then we've got canoe, kayak, paddleboard, and the rib boat tour that we do. So all those, you can read about those. There's some great images, there's some video footage, we've got testimonials, and then there's all the pricing on there. They can book online, or they can email or give me a call and we can chat through, because some people, you know, have questions that they just want to ask, and we can, you know, happily chat through. So yeah, any of those methods were aside from lockdown, we're open 7 days a week, all year round. From you know, sunrise paddleboarding to being out on the 4x4 course at sundown is just gorgeous, you know. So it doesn't, we're not restricted to Monday to, you know, 9 to 5 hours. You know, our evening 4x4 driving experiences are, you know, being up on the course at the top of the estate, looking right up the lake to the Langdales as the sun goes, you know, it's magical. Yeah. So yeah, no, more than happy to chat through before people book online. Yeah.
And I think if they want a bespoke experience for them and the family, and if they've got any worries, etc., they can contact you direct. And I think the other element as well is it's open for everybody, depending on, you know, their ability, etc. But you can talk that through on the phone or
yes, yeah. Lovely. And that's what it's about. It's all inclusive. you know, and nobody, we don't like anybody to feel left out or pressured into doing something that they don't want to do. But it's yeah, quite often it's, you know, it's a personalized service. You know, it's really important that if they're just coming to visit us for one activity and they've got no intentions to come into the lakes again, then, you know, they're as equally as important as all our regular thrill seekers.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sara.
Thank you.
A real great insight to outdoor adventure, and it's something that's so needed for mental health and well-being this, you know, at this time, but any time, you know, and to get out into nature is the best tonic for anybody to be positively influenced for the mental health and well-being. So thank you very much, and I'm certainly excited. I've actually got my swimming costume on underneath here, so I'll be going into the lake very soon, because you've inspired me to go in, and I've got my paddle ready to take my paddleboard in as well. So thank you very much, Sara. May I wish you all the best, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the activities this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Happy Sunday, everybody.